But, so anyway, I wanted to um, thank you all for coming. It's not easy to set aside time, to do this, and um, kind of a little story about how this got started was my friend Susan and I decided that we needed to fill our pipes because we were feeling pretty low, from seemed like there was a this was like about a month ago now when we had the first one, and and I so we decided that we would meet, around 7-Eleven and um, smoke our pipes by telephone together. And uh, and it occurred to me that there was so much sadness on Facebook and stuff, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna make a an announcement that you know we'll be praying at 7-Eleven. So if you wanted to um, join in uh, at 7-Eleven, wherever you are, just remember, and we'll be praying at the same time. It's kind of like when I first started uh, doing ceremonies, about 35 years ago. We had ceremonies all around the world, and it wasn't that long, about 33 years ago, I guess it was. Um, had ceremonies all around the world at 11:11 uh, to w- to do it with all different religions and all different indigenous peoples all across the world to usher in the transformation from the male aspect to the female aspect. And so that we had in this area, we went over to the caves over by the river there, by near the mountains, and in Clyde Belcourt, and well, several people I guess had pipes, um, and so we prayed as same time as people all around the world, and so that's kind of where I got the 11:11, and 7-Eleven, because it was explained to me back then, that 11 was sacred, and um, to call people together at that time is it's like your prayers are stronger for some reason. And it was more of a, I think it was more of a Buddhist thing or something. Um, it was so long ago I don't even remember. But the Indians, were also had teachings about it being a sacred time, but we weren't as much um, into time as some of the other religions, you know. Um, but that's kind of where it always, ever since then, it's sort of had a place in my heart and a significance. So that's why I do things like 7-Eleven, 11:11. Um, and we still have to bring that about, that transformation, because what happened was after we did those ceremonies back then, it seemed like it got better for a couple of years, and then the pendulum swung back the other way, and uh, and it seemed like it got worse. Kind of like what happened here in the last several years. It's like things started to turn around, like 8 years ago. I guess it would be 12 years ago now, 12 years ago, um, and then it's like the pendulum swung and it got worse than anybody imagined it could get. It just didn't seem possible that this is the same country that was doing. It seemed like we were doing so well, where people were caring about each other and loving each other and being American for all the right reasons and being part of the world for all the right reasons. And so that's part of uh, part of what I'm working on right now is is developing one community to start with, but eventually there'll be all around the world where the people are practicing the gifts of all the directions. The problem is the male aspect is just the east and the south, the lower part of the medicine wheel, and the female aspect is the west and the north, the gifts of the west and the north. And so, just a real quick explanation of the medicine wheel. It sort of coincides with the stages of life. Like east is from birth to adolescence, and so um, at adolescence, puberty, we die to the east and are reborn into the south. And the south is, adolescence and teenage years, where your hormones are going crazy, and it's all about perpetuation of the species. Um, and so, um, it's kind of like the gifts of the South are knowledge and, uh, like the romantic kind of love, all those things that, you become aware of in your teenage and preteen years, um, and then the West is about unconditional love, and the North is about all the, you might say, the higher gifts, justice and the kind of love that, like godlike kind of love, um, where it's actually free from all of the neediness of the South. So it balances out the South. And so that's the idea, is not to dwell like only in the North, or like if you like the West. I can remember when I was bathing in the gifts of the West, I thought it couldn't get any better. I had unconditional love for everybody. I was practicing spirituality, and I just thought that that was the end all of it. And then what happened was I had the most magnificent relationship ended, and I wanted to die. And uh, just short of dying, I had I died to the west direction of the west and was reborn into the north. But if I hadn't gone through that horrific experience, I would have never experienced the gift of the north. And so I wouldn't wish that kind of thing on anybody, but way I would, because if you don't, at least for me, it had to be. Maybe some people experience the gifts of the north by dabbling in it. For me, it had to happen, um, kind of in a miracle. And in fact, that's how I got the gifts of the West, was a miracle. In fact, a lot of people end up experiencing the gifts of the West through recovery, and they have a spiritual experience. Well, my spiritual experience was a miracle, where the desire to use was lifted from me, um, just all at once, and I knew I would never use again. And so then it opened the door for me to start experiencing the unconditional love and things of the West. That's a long story. In fact, I just told that story about 2 days ago, um, at an NA meeting online. Yeah, East Lake NA. So anyway, Oh gosh. All right. So anyway, I'm going to get on the point here and actually start the ceremony. And so how I usually do this is I start with the pipe filling song, and I learned when I first started sundancing that the pipe filling song is our most important song, because when the white buffalo calf woman gave us the pipe, she also gave us the seven ceremonies, and and she gave us all these songs and teachings that go with the seven ceremonies, and like the song is sort of the essence of why we're here today, or in prayer. If you take the focus off yourself and you put it on being part of something greater than yourself, in the Indian way we call that being in truth. And so if you're in truth when you pray like this, whatever you ask will be given to you. Kol el lechele chuo. Its friend, do it like this. And then it goes on to say, when you do things in this way, whatever you ask will be given to you. So it's like, friend, do it like this, friend, do it like this, friend, do it like this, three times. Um, and so eventually, if we keep doing this, I would love it if people could learn the pipe filling song so that um, I could fill the pipe while you guys were singing. That would be awesome. And so, I mean, it's not going to happen, next week or the week after, but I'm just saying, that if you want to set a goal, Anita is a teacher, and she has the words and recordings of the pipe filling song, and sorry, and you can also make a recording of this, or you listen to the recording from Facebook or Zoom, and if you want, we'll get you the words. But just um, while I'm singing it for today, friend, do it like this is cola is friend, lechel lechu. So, but you say it, cola lechel lechu. So I want you to just go ahead and try it with me. Cola leche lechuo. Cola leche lechuo. Cola leche lechuo. Hey. Okay, that's your line. The production is on its way now. We're depending on you, okay? All
Well,
right. So I'm gonna fill this.
I'm going to say real quick while he feels that he's speaking in the man speech.
What?
You're speaking in the man speech. You're speaking the man speech.
Right. And that's interesting you say that, because I years ago somebody brought that up to one of my Sundance leaders, and there's a whole nother language um, that is they called the sacred language, um, and it's where like some of the words are shortened, and some of and so they don't so much adhere to the like the linguistic principles when you're doing the prayer. So it's not as so a woman can use these words during ceremony, and it's okay, it's acceptable.
Yeah, I was just describing it though, like that it's singing in the L dialect. Instead of the D, you just replace the L with D, and some um, it's there's not many changes from L to D.
Oh, is that what you were talking about? I thought you were talking about male and female.
Oh, that too, because we
Oh.
instead of saying whoa,
Yeah.
one says
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, there are some words that only males say and some words that only females say, you know. But then what she's talking about are dialects, like the Dakota around this area is instead of saying cola, they would say coda, and so,
So they understand each other, and it shouldn't be, um, you know, do it this way or else, kind of thing.
mhm,
Because the language, a lot of ways, is almost lost. So we have to
yeah,
grasp and so that's my little teaching when it gets right now is just because the woman um, speak softer, they sing softer, and they don't have those guttural, really sharp guttural like the chota. We say the chota, just kind of lesser than how the men they practically spit at each other. They say it so emphatically, so I that's what I've seen, and it's the ways and the language is kind of fading, but we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back. That's our heritage. Everybody's heritage. So, uh-huh.
okay, all right. So everybody remember your lines. Cola leche lechuo. Okay.
Sing it loud.
What?
Those who know it, sing it loud.
Right. Cola leche lechuo. Cola leche lechuo. Cola leche lechuo. Hey. Leche que neto shela wania telo yo hey hojo kawaji yo hello takeche mixoya opahio hey hey januki takoya chiku ieche tukelo hey kola leche lechuo kola leche lechuo kola leche lechuo hey Nito Katsila Waniya Hey Hawaii Yahailo Takechi Mixuya Opahio Hey Januki Takuya Chiki Ieche Tukilo Hey um, yeah, I feel a need to um, do the calling song right now too. So I'm just going to go right into that. Um, I should have probably mentioned this. Um, this is the calling song, and so I guess I took it for granted that people knew what that was. But what it is we want to invite everybody that's gone before us, to the spirit world, to be with us, to help us in our prayers today. And so they're going to be kind of like, um, the in between for us and the Creator. Um, and so we asked them to come here and to help us. And so I always invite my mother and my little sister Jeannie and my dad and my brother Ben and I always ask Black Elk to be with us, and St. Kateri, and John Kennedy was my childhood hero. Ask not what you can do, what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. That's kind of he was talking like a Sundancer there, you know. So we all have faults, and I learned later, some faults about John Kennedy, but um, I don't judge him because I understand the medicine wheel and I understand what it means to be stuck. And we're all stuck, and some of us just made different mistakes, you know. And so I forgive him and I love him for the good that he did. And all the rest of them that went before us, they weren't perfect, but they're perfect now. And so they can help us. And so we ask them to come and join us and to hear our prayers and take them to the Creator. So I'm going to sing it again, and this time, as I'm praying, kind of you can talk out loud or you can just say it in your heart, whisper it, who you want to invite. So I'm going to fill the pipe now. Oh, you know what? I forgot something. Really quick, could I have like one or two of you, or if we can do it really fast, everybody will have a chance. Um, just to say what's on your heart and what you think you want me to be thinking about while I'm filling the pipe. So this is not a time where you go into a big story or any of that. It's almost like a laundry list of things that you know are on your mind. Um, and so if there's somebody that's really struggling, or if you have what's going on in the world, or anything that you want to speak about right now, go ahead, um, and let us share it with us right now. So whoever wants to go first, just start in. Okay, time's up. No. Come on. All right, Kathleen.
I'm 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 here for the Earth. I'm very much connected to the planet, and I'm hoping to raise the health of the planet and get the vitality back with the regards to the Earth. I love the people. I want the people to open their hearts so that they can care for each other and learn to love this beautiful planet. And I want people to get back to nature, and maybe that's the only good thing that's come from COVID. It seems like a lot of people are venturing out more to appreciate nature, and I'm seeing that a lot. And I'd love for that to not stop, and so that people can care for this home we have.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. And I agree with you about it's a good thing that people have used this time of the pandemic to find nature. Um, I also think there's probably a lot more blessings around this pandemic than people realize. You know, even just the idea that um, it makes us stronger in a sense that when we realize when you go through something really tough and you look back and you say, wow, I did it. Like if you ran a marathon, or if you got through a divorce or any of those kinds of things, that you didn't know. And if you can look back on it and you see the blessing in it, there's a lot of power in it. And if you can use empathy to make what you went through about helping others go through something similar, or even just somehow making it about other people, then this really will have been a blessing. In the thought, darkest before the dawn comes to mind, and related to what you said too, Kathy. It seems like um, almost like, and maybe it was a good thing, that somebody had the reins let go, as far as the environment, because it strengthened the resolve of those of us that really care for Mother Earth, and we're not going to let that happen again. We're gonna stick our necks out. We're gonna take chances, and we're gonna make sure that everybody knows where we stand when it comes to this planet. and that we have a responsibility to care for it and leave this planet better than we found it. And it's, make sure that it's there for the seventh generation. And that's, when we think about the environment or the land or anything, nobody owns the land. The land is owned by the seventh generation. And so it's always, nobody actually owns it because we were the seventh generation of 6 generations ago, you know. um, but for us, uh, our seventh generation is the one that owns it. So we never, it never, nobody actually owns it. It's just a, a beautiful way of realizing that the creator owns it all and we are to be good stewards of it. And so, yeah, that again is my prayer too. So thanks, Kathleen.
Thank you.
Robert,
Hi,
Bob.
call me whatever you want. Uh, well, I guess it hasn't been too long ago. I had been working on my physical health and mental health, and I thought that I probably needed to work on some spiritual health. And thinking about all the struggles that the COVID has had on people, and it's been really hard for a lot of people to be isolated in this new environment for the past 7, 8, 9 months. And so I just, I'm thinking about those individuals that are struggling, and hoping that hoping that they get through this event. So I guess COVID for me has led to my being a healthier person, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I pray that that can that is with other people too.
Thanks, Bob. Anita?
Daco.
Mhm.
Well, I wanted to kind of piggyback on what Kathleen said, which is a dire need for us to lessen our carbon footprint and care for the planet. And I'm working with a group that's for environmental justice, and a secondary group, 350, that opens their meeting with Dakota. Dakota, you might say, how they believe, what their beliefs are about the land and the water, and preserving it to us, to help restore it to clean use and keep it that way. And I really am hoping that we have less dependence on oil, because it's something that will make or break our world. I really think that way. And in terms of the wonderful prayers and songs, in Native way, especially all our nations here, Ojibwe and Dakota, we pray as we sing as we pray. And a lot of Native wisdom is misinterpreted. And as a teacher, you know, I think there's a great need to understand all our people from the origins of where we came from. So the medicinal teachings go into many things. And the medicine wheel actually means that we need to live in a balanced way with our world and ourselves. And you could say that spiritually we have to be balanced, socially, our intellect, and also see, what is the other one? Well, anyway, the balanced nature of human beings. And when one is out of balance, the other ones can't fall into place. So that's part of that philosophy. That's what our people have lived with for thousands of years. That's how all the thousands of people in our nations got along well, and that sort of thing. So I think our Dakota ways and customs and what we live by is how we should accept each other. And especially there are things that they say you have to prove it scientifically, when in the native world we just have a way of knowing. Like if you look into water, because both Ojibwe and Dakota, we have a spiritual connection with water. So if you were to look, say, take a cell phone, take a picture of the water, you will see human forms, spirits in the water. And if you pray with the water, that water will help you, gain that realm of, the Creator answering and helping. There's especially the Ojibwe people, they really, in their Meday, they use water for their spiritual life, and the Dakota do too. So I want to just end my long conversation, and I think it's important that with Native prayers, when we call in the spirits, when we fill the pipe and call in the spirits, they're helping us. It could be a spirit that lived 2,000 years ago that comes and tells you what that life was like back then. That's how we know. That's how we know. There are songs that sing about the giant mammoths, about all the large animals that came on the earth. There used to be giant beavers as big as cars, So they tell us all kinds of things in the past and in the future. And a lot of people think, oh, well, that's just a bunch of nonsense. No, it's not. Because we knew a long time ago we were going to have to buy water. We knew it in our ceremonies. We were going to have to buy water. And so those things are real, but Damia,
Thanks, Anita. Eliza? Hi, welcome.
Bonjour. Thank you for letting me into this space. I know Anita through, we work together.
Mm.
I am here, I think, kind of bouncing off what Bob was talking about with COVID. I've kind of thought and reflected a lot about, how hard it's been, but also how much it's preparing us, for like we're ready for anything now. And the human connection that we have a barrier of right now, I think is making me value more of what I didn't really see before. And with so much time on my hands, I have a lot of learning that I'm doing. I am a reconnecting native. My mother was adopted and given up at birth. So thank you so much for letting me be here in this space to learn and share this with you. So I guess that's all I have, but thank you.
Thank you, Isa. Welcome. Yeah, that's the thing, is what she's talking about is really transforming it into a blessing. And so, you have a choice with everything you walk through, all the pain you go through. You can make it a blessing, or you can let it make you a victim. And so we have a lot of people walking around that are professional victims. I know I was for many years, and I remember one time I had a disagreement with my nephew, and I said, "You're just being a victim." He says, "You're darn right I am. I'm a victim." It's like he was proud of it. And I thought, wow, I don't get it. you know, and but that's sort of the mentality out there, is that people think that they're being a victim entitles them to just be negative, and to be hurtful, and it's like, that's not a way to live. That's not what we were destined to do. We're here. We're warriors. We're here. We're supposed to um, rise up with the people and make it better for our grandchildren and the seventh generation. And we have a huge responsibility. We can't indulge in any victim mentality. We have to transform it. And so I love you, so young and have such a deep understanding. You're going to be the kind of leader we need. So thank you for being here. Hey, John.
Hey, Joseph.
Hi. Glad you made it, man.
Always. I still carry the sweat every day that we had together years ago. My prayer is for a few things. We all have individual spirit, and that the prayer is to call forth everybody's awesomeness of their individual spirit in the collection of all of us. There can't be all of us without each of us. And to find those callings in ourselves, to have the courage to let those callings come forth, to be and to do and to have the things that only I could have as an individual for our group, for all of us. And that everybody's eyes can be open to the sounds inside of themselves that are to be shared and not to be hidden, to be amplified, to be that warrior. My phone's name is a warrior name, and I never really knew what that was about. I can shy from that very easily. I can be intimidated. I can be scared. I can be all kinds of things, and that's not me. To be me is to be me, and I know when that happens. And I can also start to tell when that's not happening. And the prayer is, again, for the calling of the individuals to come forth for all of us, so that we can all be the spirit. Thank you for having me today.
Thanks, John. It's beautiful. Chris?
Thank you. Thank you for letting me join tonight. This is a really lovely, lovely community here tonight. I have had, what's really been on my mind, I guess, is how to be present to all that is happening, and maintain or even develop a more open mind and heart, to try to be able to really be in my own person and purpose, which I in the past have doubted a lot. And so I think, what John was saying really kind of spoke to me in terms of, yes, who I am and what I bring is, I can trust that that it is important, that it's part of what's needed right now, and that having the courage and mind and heart to stand in it and to be present to it is, I think, what's important for me. And this is a time, even though I've been with many people virtually in my work, there's been an aspect of this time that has allowed me to really be present to myself in a way that I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to be. And it's ironically helping me for me to fully be present with others in a deeper way. So thank you very much for letting me be here with you tonight.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. As you all share, it helps me to take the focus off of myself, so that when I'm in truth, when I'm filling the pipe, I'm in truth. So that's one way. Another way is to be in gratitude, and those are like surefire ways to be in that place. And so as people are talking and you're listening, and you're thinking about their prayers, and mix it in with some gratitude, and then we'll be a force. If everybody can like really get into the spirit of it, we will our prayers will be so powerful. And it's like the song says, when you're in truth, when you do it in this way, whatever you ask will be given to you. And so I already know that we're on track here, that everybody's prayers are going to be answered. And so that's an amazing thing to know, that your prayers are going to be answered because everybody's in truth here. So thank you.
Can I add something to, when
Okay, keep it short. Okay.
I go home, back home, and I'm among some very wise traditional people that still practice from where the way it was in the beginning, that they asked me to come with a pure heart and a pure mind, because it's very important, because if you don't, then Shicha beings, they can come, they can infiltrate, they can latch onto you, and a lot of you know about those things. So it's really, really good to cleanse ourselves, with they cleanse and make that sage our own, from our own soul and being, and and go to that place together where that power of the creator can create that bond, you know, and so at this time of the year is when that power is the most powerful. The summer solstice or the winter solstice is the, and maybe you can speak on that, Joseph.
Yeah, thanks, Anita. Jen, why don't you chime in?
Sorry, finding that unmute. I'm just hearing a lot of important truth coming from the group, and I'm also grateful to be here and to realign. And I think my prayer is for that purification Anita mentioned, and for that balance for myself, my loved ones, my friends, my community, and the people of this earth. I'm kind of overwhelmed by that there's a big correction happening. And I just want to honor that correction. I want space for that correction. And I do hope, I do pray that all peoples come together in a sustainable way, in an honoring way, in a loving way. I'm praying for strength and well-being and spiritual healing for those who are finding themselves really ill right now. You know, thinking of friends and members of their families, thinking of those who are suffering from COVID in so many ways. And I want to trust in this process of coming home. Thank you.
Thank you. That's great. Is it Chamath? Is that how you pronounce it? Chamath? Chamath? Are you there? Scott, did you have any prayers?
No, I just rejoined, and I'll have to think on that for a minute. I just got off my other conference call, but thank you for asking.
Yeah. Sylvia?
Joseph, are you trying to say my name?
No, Janet, I wasn't going to let you speak because you speak too long. No.
Oh,
No, go ahead, Janet. But please keep it brief, all right?
well, hey, you know, everybody else is talking. No, but I honestly thought you were trying to say my name because I didn't see the other name on the list. So I thought maybe your eyes were deceiving you.
Okay, let's move it on.
Wow, Joseph. You don't do that to anybody else but me. So I'm going to say this. I'm not that, you know, we could laugh it off, but you know what? You know me, I'm very direct. My name is Janet. I'm the daughter of Teresa, granddaughter of Kaji Chuenta. I come down from the Bear Clan of the Ganyankahaga people, better known as the Mohawk people. And my laundry list for prayer is kind of what Jen touched on, that we reach a sustainable level where we can all live no matter where we're from. The thing we have to learn is community. Living in community, sharing with each other, and getting back to learning how to become more sustainable. So my other prayer is that the people in positions of power will take this upon themselves somehow, that the consciousness of the earth be instilled within them, because the way I see it is that there's a lot of benefits to what has happened through COVID. But of course, people in positions of power are ruled by power and money. So it's up to the people. And so that would be my prayer for sustainable, sharing, loving communities.
Beautiful.
And the only other thing I want to say is that in my recovery through AA, I learned about the St. Francis of Assisi prayer, where it says, let me understand somebody else rather than to be understood. Many people are negative, but there's a reason why they might be negative, and there are victims, and there might be good reasons why they're victims. Everyone has to learn in their own time. But sometimes maybe they need the love. Maybe they didn't get that love. Maybe they didn't get that understanding or that knowledge of the world, like we can share in these groups. That's what's great about these groups, because each of us contributes something and we learn. So my last prayer is for everyone in these groups, that I'm humbled and grateful to be here. I thank you, Joseph, and that we can touch each other's lives that we meet, as they say in Lakota, Matakwe Oyasi.
Mhm.
Sorry, Joseph.
Thanks, Janet. And you know, if I didn't love you so much, I couldn't say the things I do to you sometimes. But
Well, listen, I was shorter than last time, and I promise I'll be shorter the next time. I think we all just have a need to talk, so
God bless you, Janet. God bless you.
you too.
yeah, and I have to, when you talked, Janet, it reminded me, about what's going on in the Phillips neighborhood, um, where you talked about power. The community worked with the best legislator the state of Minnesota's ever had, Karen Clark, to put together a proposal to renovate the rooftop um, depot warehouse right over by Hiawatha Avenue in Minneapolis, um, in like 28th Street. And they went through a big design plan, and Karen Clark got money for that, from the legislature. And so the neighborhood was really um, excited about the possibilities that were going to happen to transform uh, that area, which is so responsible for so much pollution, to that area of the city, you know, to really transform it into something beautiful that would save lives and build community, that like Janet was talking about. Uh, and in fact, when I was telling Karen Clark about how I'm getting a group of people together to build communities where like-minded people live, play, pray, and work together, where we actually um, have people like you and I, uh, as mentors, and like an equal number of people that are like chronic homeless, chronic relapsers in addiction and stuff. And we immerse them in this loving environment. And they have a real shot at transforming into being leaders, into letting what we are, the gifts that we can offer them, can become their way of life. And you see, so many of them would uh, be stalwarts in recovery, or be, really solid people if they just had a little bit more support and kind of a guidance in making that transition into the gifts of the West and the North. And and so what happened is, this thing is like snowballing, and the city of Minneapolis said that they wanted that land to consolidate all their waterworks and stuff in one area. So all of the communities planning is going to go down the tubes, and more pollution. If you center all of the trucks and everything from 3 different spots around the city to one place that's already got more pollution than it needs, and it's just like a slap in the face, and really it's genocide, to the neighborhood. And I saw Karen Clark, at the co-op about a month or two ago. And, I told her about my idea, and I'm getting people together. And she said that that would be a great fit for the 28 units of housing in the roof depot. And I thought, yeah, well, that's true, but the city kind of has other plans for that. And so I guess I would like my intention to, even if I don't get my project in there, it still would be too much harm to that neighborhood to have what the city wants there. And it would be such a great loss to not have the thing that they had planned, that I would really ask for you to put that in your prayers with me, and think of the Phillips neighborhood and its tremendous need. Thanks for listening. So Sylvia, are you ready?
Hi,
Hi.
I am. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for opening this beautiful space. I was completely touched by your singing and everything else, and the input of all of the people here. I think that my laundry list, like you said, it's really small. All I can wish for right now, it's for unity, um, for the coming together of all peoples, and for all of us opening up our minds and our consciousness to the fact that we are all one with the Creator, and Gaia, and to bring healing. That's what we need most, to wake up to our true selves, and to the divinity that is within all of us. And that, I think, that resumes pretty much all I could wish for. Much love and gratitude for this beautiful opportunity. And that's a beautiful work you're doing. And I'm really honored to be here.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
So Scott, are you ready?
I am. Uh, I just want to say also that I'm truly honored to have been a part of this with you, and my prayers are certainly with you for having the project that you just described move forward in the way that you feel it should be, that the way that it was envisioned, and that will support the people who are in need. I would echo Sylvia's comments and Janet's comments. I think we're at a time where we really need healing, and for people to come together, and for all of us to open our hearts to each other. And even those who we may strongly disagree with, that we're all one, and that without each other we won't survive. So my prayers are that we can come together and find continued common ground and shared understanding and move forward together stronger for our shared connection.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Mm. So we got Chamath. Are you there, Chamath?
Yes, just a minute, please. While I activate the video as well, I had to step out for a moment. I apologize.
Hi.
Hello. So honored to be here with all of you. Thank you very much, Joseph, for inviting me to this gracious and loving and kind space. My prayer too is about for community, for deep and authentic connection and relationship. And we will not heal from not only the pandemic, but other things that are hurting and harming all of us in different degrees, whether it's complex intergenerational trauma or other things, without community. So my prayer is for community. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be free from physical and emotional pain. May all beings find peace and happiness at all times. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's see. Did I lose my Facebook? It just stopped. Wait. Yeah, it's stuck on me. It's weird. Huh. Well, hopefully the front camera's still working. It's just, well, let's see. Oh, said something. I didn't catch it. Oh. I guess all right, I think it's okay now. All right, well, thanks, Chamath. Anybody else? I think we got everybody, right? Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like everybody. So I guess we'll fill the pipe. And as I do it, I'm going to sing the pipe filling song. So I want you to join in with me. I won't have the drum, but it'll be all right. Kola chele chuo, kola chele chuo, kola chele
lechelo, lechelo.
Lechanuki Nito Kashila Waniya Teloyo Hey Ocho Kamai Yohailo Takechi Mixuya Opachio Hey Chanuki Takoya Chinki Iyeche Tutelo Hey Kola Leche Lechuo Kola Leche Lechuo Kola Leche Lechuo Hey Lechanuki Nitunkashila
Nitunkashila.
Janu Pawaje Yohailo Takechi Mixuya Opahio Hey Hey Chanuki Takuya Chinki Ichi Tutelo Hey Kola Leche Lechuo Kola Leche Lechuo Kola Leche Lechuo Hey Lechanuki Nito Kashila Waniya Teloyo
You are me?
Haye Chanu Pawaji
Waji.
Yohailo Takechi Mixuya Opahio Hey Hey Chanuki Takuya Chinki Ichi Tutilo Hey Kola
Lechelo.
Kola
Kola leche, lechelo.
Kola
Kola netunkashila.
Nitunkashila Waniya
Maniako anapawechi.
Chanu Pawaji Yohailo
Takechi
Mixuya
Nishila
Fio
Achanik
Chanuki Takuya Chinki Iyeche Tutelo Hey Oh Tukashila. We have a lot of needs as expressed here today. Please let the people know that their being in truth has made it so that these things are already happening as we speak. The planet is being healed and the people are being healed in their wanting to transform into the beings that we were meant to be. So we give you thanks. We're filled with so much gratitude for your love, that the healing love that flows through each one of us, the energy that made every single atom of everything in existence is your love. That healing love is the energy of all in existence. Let us realize that we are one and related to everything. There's no separation. Oh, mitakwesen. Mm. So I wonder if this means that this video is going to be sideways. That's what it's trying to tell me. I guess people have to lay down when they watch it. I go to some Zoom meetings for NA, and half the people are there and are in their beds. Some of them go to all the meetings every night of the week. And I make fun of them sometimes. They're living in their bed. They're healthy young people, most of them, and they don't get out of their beds except to go and get something to eat or to go to the bathroom. They're there on Zoom meetings all day long. So I don't know. I guess I had a similar thing when I was new to recovery. My sponsor said I got to do 90 meetings in 90 days, and I did 120. So I kind of went overboard too. Itakwasi. Um, have any of you ladies ever blessed water for a ceremony? Jen, would you mind just getting a little bit of water in a cup? In fact, everyone, if you have any water, it'd be kind of a nice thing if you could go and grab some water real quick. I got mine. So, I guess we still got a couple people. Anita? Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Anita, would you want to just say a blessing over the water for us? Everybody hold your water.
Higashina Omakiapi. Bless this water, Nani, that we may use it for our spiritual blessings. Itakuya Kawasi.
Oh, okay, everybody take a drink.
Higashina.
Okay, I'm going to sing a prayer song. Wakantanka toka heya chewakielo hey Wakantanka toka heya chewakielo hey Mitakoyeo Wanitacha Tokaheya Tewakilo Hey Takashela Tokaheya Tewakilo Hey Takashila Tokaheya Tewakilo Hey Itakuyeo Waniktacha Tokaheya Tewakilo Hey. So imagine the eagle is here with the ones that we called, and they're just ecstatic from being asked to be here, and they've already delivered our prayers to the Creator. And, and so the finishing touch, or like the follow through to any kind of a miracle, is gratitude. It's like if you're, like if you ever saw Tiger Woods golf, they say, part of the reason he's such a good golfer is he had a good follow through, and so that's kind of the the completion of the prayer is to just be bathing in gratitude, just like oozing out all over you. And so that's the kind of um, thing that carries it with you wherever you go, knowing that you made an impact, you did something good today, and you could have done a million other things. Instead, you're here, you're being part of community, and you're taking care of the needs of the people. So I really appreciate you and your willingness, and your know that each of you are really special, and like like there's going to be a lot of miracles happening. And so like in the Indian way, we kind of shy away from taking credit for anything, or but this is a good thing. This is the kind of thing that you want your children to see, your grandchildren to see, that yeah, we did something special here today. And so it's okay to pump up your chest about this. And so I'm gonna sing a thank you song, and maybe some of you know it. You can sing along with. I don't know what's going on with my voice today. Oh well. Wakataka toka Shila, Wakataka toka Shila, Ila Maya Yelo He, Chanupa Wakancha Maya Kualo He, Ila Maya Yelo He, we chosen Iwa Maya Kualo. Maya kuolo hoye, ila maya yelo he. We chosen iwa maya kuolo, ila maya ye, ila maya yelo he. Wakataka taka shila, wakataka taka shila. Maya yelo he, Chanupa Wakancha Maya kuolo hoye, Ila Maya
got?
Okay, well, now the ones that we called here today, it's we sing a couple of songs now to kind of like acknowledge their being here and releasing them. You know, some will go and some will stay with you. Some will um, some will decide that they need to uh, help you, and so you just want to acknowledge their presence and use them. They, you know, they're in a place now in a dimension where you know they have like one goal or one duty, and that's to help us pray and to help us, um, you know, and it's like when we ask them, they're like ecstatic. They jump up and down and they're giddy, and so the more you use them, the happier they are. So include them in everything you do, the tough things and the fun things, and let them know that you value their presence and their help. And and that's another way of you um, being in touch with humility that will give you the kind of strength uh, that we need, that you know, in order to accomplish the things that the people need. You know, you know, the Indians believe that humility is to the spirit like air is to the body. We need to be bathing in air all the time in order for our bodies to survive. And the same thing is true of our spirits. For our spirits to survive, we need to be bathing in humility. And so we want to pray for all those people that seem to have almost no humility in their lives, and just really ask the spirits to, you know, head over there and, you know, make them people feel they're loved and they're not alone. Because see, part of what, you know, people um, they just haven't learned. They haven't learned that it's not about them. And so we just, you know, we just need to help them to learn, you know, and help them understand that as long as they focus on themselves, they will never get what they want. The grass will always be greener somewhere else. Everything will be the wrong color. But if they focus on, you know, being there for the good of others, it's like things beyond their imagination will happen. Things will happen, colors that they never even knew there were will start appearing in their life, more beautiful than they ever imagined. And you know, and that's kind of a metaphor for the other things that'll happen. But a lot of things will just, you know, when you start walking this way and you realize it's all about being there for the good of the people, you know, that's, people need to see that. They need to see you walking around with joy from experiencing that in your life, and they'll want it. And that's how it happens. If they'll see what's going on in your life and they'll want to be like you. And that's a good thing. So closing songs.
Hesitate. What we got? I said, yes, that's all right. That's all right. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you want to say some more?
Yeah. Um, Loapi, Chief. Sing for them.
Anybody else want to say anything before we let the spirits go? Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. God bless all you beautiful people. Thank you for coming together.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye now.
Peace
Thank
and
you.
love.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. God bless
You
you.
all have a
you.
good night.
Good night,
Thanks.
Joseph.
Thank
God
you.
Good night,
Good
bless.
people.
Onagiwahe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Language, thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for coming, everyone.
Thank you, Roger, for hosting.
It was fun. It was good.
And Joseph, thank you so much, as always, for the power of your prayers and for holding the space and for your beautiful big voice and your beautiful big heart.
Thank you.